me actually look up if there's a sequel to this or like anything on YouTube. Because this whole movie, we didn't say this, but this whole movie can be found on YouTube. I will link it. I don't know if this part's going to end up in the final cut, but I will link the movie down below and like put something there. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Del.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
Alright, so today... Alright, so today a bit of an interesting one. This was a fan request to review their, short film.
Yes.
So, thanks for asking us,
yeah, we're so honored.
We're very honored, yeah. But this was Ramel Carter is the name of this one.
Thank you to Lou, who sent us an email and asked us to look at it. Sorry I didn't respond to the email, but here we are now.
We're getting to it, yeah.
So, as always, IMDb. This one's a little different because there's actually a summary for it, so... I think I might just do the first sentence of it, just because it's so long. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ramel Carter is a former bodyguard of a scientist whose dying wish was for him to protect and deliver a formula to the one person that could possibly finish his work. That's a good, just like, blanket summary instead of the whole like thing. So
yeah, we'll get into the rest of it.
Yeah.
But all right, as usual, starting off with things we liked about this one.
Yes.
I guess I'll kick this one off. I thought the main person who played Ramel, I think it is Louis himself, but I thought he was a good actor in this one.
Yeah.
I definitely think he showed a lot of emotion in a lot of the scenes, especially as the film kind of progressed. I also really liked his like fighting skills.
I was gonna say
were,
that
really good, and really like fun to watch too, and a lot of there were a lot of good well choreographed scenes. Yeah, well choreographed scenes, and also good lighting for a lot of these fight scenes, and they were also uncut for a lot of them. So just very very fun to watch him kind of act and kind of take on this main character role. So I thought he did a very good job in this one.
I definitely made a note of the fight scenes because they were all very solid, considering this is a short film, and I'm assuming it has a very low budget because it looks like very very handmade, and not in a bad way, but you could tell it's
it definitely wasn't made in Hollywood,
very small budget. So I was so impressed with all the fight scenes. They were very very good. In terms of specific scenes, I thought the kidnapping of the wife scene worked very well. I thought that was a good quick little who are you? And then fade to black, she's gone. I thought that worked really well. Same with the there are also some really good little one-liners in this movie that I really like. I should have written them down because I've seen this twice now. Because again, I don't know when this is coming out in relation to Day Shift, but we were supposed to watch these two movies a month ago, so I did, and then here we are a month later, finally filming about them. But but yeah, I thought that scene worked incredibly well.
Let's see what else I had. I actually liked the little kind of twist at the end of the close friend kind of sending him on this mission to kill the guy so he could end up taking the money.
Yes.
I thought that definitely surprised me, which I didn't expect to get surprised like that from this movie.
I know.
In this short film, but it was a nice little twist at the end that I just really enjoyed it. Kind of when you think the movie's dying down and you think, okay, he got his wife back kind of thing. That's the end of it. You get this added thing. So I definitely would be excited to see where this goes next. But
that was my last one too. I really enjoyed that cliffhanger. I definitely was on the edge of my seat at the end. I was like, his friend betrayed him. What is going on? I was like, this definitely opens the door for a sequel. I don't know if there is a sequel. I should have looked that up. But
I don't know.
It definitely opened the door for a sequel. So if there is a sequel, I would definitely be open to watching that. But I really enjoyed that.
I think the only other thing I had down, I had the cinematography down for another point. I thought there were a couple of good drone shots in this one too. That kind of surprised me, but and then I did like the lighting, especially in that final fight scene. where they were kind of in that like empty like reddish purpley room. I think that this was like the final fight versus I guess in the end of the movie there's kind of that stretch where he kind of just like keeps fighting.
Yeah, he like goes into the warehouse or wherever that is and just like has different opponents, similar to like a video game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, like almost like that like video game where you have like the cutscene and then you're like, all right, 3-round fights, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess are we ready to get into some negatives?
Yes.
All right, you want to kick this off?
Yeah. Let's see. As much as I enjoyed the cliffhanger ending, I think it was a bit of an info dump, and we definitely could have used a lot more dialogue throughout the movie, so it wasn't just like 3 minutes of the friend explaining his plan and why he has it and why he was able to trick Ramel Carter because he has morals and because Ramel has morals and he doesn't because he wants to be a billionaire, and on and on and on and on. And meanwhile, it was kind of amusing to me because Ramel was basically just on the phone like while the guy is just like going on and on and on about his plan. It would just randomly cut to him being like, no. I was like, oh, banging on the table, So while I did enjoy the twist, I would have preferred if we had like sprinkled a little bit more things in, because the best part about a twist is being able to like go and watch the movie again and see those little tiny nuggets that the character has dropped, so you know that they're not all what they say they are, like a little double language and stuff like that. But there wasn't that much dialogue in here, so I definitely could have used with more dialogue throughout so that it wasn't just a massive chunk of it at the end.
Yeah, I agree. There definitely was a point kind of toward the middle end where we mentioned like that like video game fighting kind of scene where I felt like there was like no dialogue pretty much. It was just kind of him like just running through opponents for the last like 10 minutes of the movie. I guess kind of similar. My main like I guess gripe with this one was it was hard for me to kind of get to see character motivations for a lot of things. Like I know the main guy had his like wife taken. I understood that, but aside from that, like I didn't really get why people were like so invested in this. I also didn't read the description beforehand, which I usually don't do, but for this one I didn't realize like he was like the bodyguard of the scientist and that's what the documents were. So like I was kind of just hearing documents and just like like I assumed they like mentioned it somewhere and I maybe just missed the lines. Like I let it slide, but even with that, it was kind of hard for me to kind of like I guess get the because like even with the twist at the end, like aside from him explaining like he wanted the money at the end, like I wasn't really sure of his relation with the guy, like really to understand why he would be working with the bad guy or why he like did this double cross kind of thing. So that was kind of my main thing. Like it was a little hard for me to see some of the character. And again, part of that is me. I did not read the description. I did not know about the like bodyguard and like this whatever this disease was or medicine or whatever it was. But,
I just remember from the long monologue at the end, it was like a cure, but it killed a couple of people or something like that. So it wasn't quite on the up and up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel as though the same. It just more dialogue could have definitely helped me with that. Figure out people's motivations. I know, because I feel as though they kind of took the show don't tell to a little extreme. Instead of you can show but not tell, but also like tell us some things.
Yeah. Because also I think kind of where the movie starts, like it already starts with kind of like, I guess a lot of it already getting underway. Like we pretty much start with the bad guy giving his threat, you know?
Tis true.
So I almost would have liked a scene or so before then. Yeah, it was definitely definitely different, but
a bang.
Yeah, and I will say like I don't watch too many like short films. I don't.
Me
like
neither,
I have no like I don't have as much of a frame of reference for like how the story should be told or like how common it is to tell like certain like subsections of the story, but I almost wish there was like a scene beforehand or like either that or the more dialogue towards that middle ending part,
Other thing, this is more of a technical thing, and this is gonna sound so fun coming from us and how half of our comments in the beginning were your audio sucks. But there was some sound inconsistencies in this.
There are definitely a few moments.
I can say this now that I have an external mic here, so I don't sound like crap.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of sound inconsistencies that this movie could have just done like one more pass through just to make it work a little better. Same with cutting some of the scenes like a little shorter. It did. Oh my god, this is gonna sound kind of mean, but it did sort of like what The Room does, where instead of like having you just get straight to the action, you kind of see him like opening, like fumbling to get the keys, and then like now we're putting the key in the door, now we're turning the and da. So it could have definitely cut some of that down, or at least choreographed it a little bit better, because in movies people do things that are odd for a reason because it looks better for them to do that kind of odd thing. So even just like having one lone key instead of a key ring and just being like through, or like not having your door locked, like stuff like that, just so that some of the scenes could have flowed a little better. Just one more pass through could have like even cut some of those up a bit too.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree about the audio. I think for the most part it was okay, but there were definitely a few scenes where like either the character was like really low and hard to hear, or there were a lot of scenes where like there was an extra line as like the character was like walking away that would just come out like really loud. But I guess another thing I do want to bring, I did actually like a lot of the music choice in this one.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, like a lot of the kind of background instrumentals I thought were very good, especially in like the last scene and like the build up to during those like last fighting scenes. There was like a really good like, I don't know, kind of guitar riff that came on that I enjoyed. but yeah, I guess I think I have. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I have one more thing, and it's a nitpick, and it's when the bad guy is calling Ramel that he has his wife. The wife needed to be gagged because for some reason she was just sitting there silently, and she needs to be gagged for her silence to make sense. Like she's not like, Ramel, don't do it, or like I'm okay, or like not saying anything. Like she needs to say something, otherwise. Gag her, because her not being gagged just is kind of weird. Like she's sitting here watching you make a threatening call, like like no, you need to be gagged.
I also thought the hostage situation was a little weird at the end too, because he kind of just like pushes her into a wall and then forgets about her, like she wasn't the hostage, and like the whole like, you know what I mean, like, but there's little stuff like that. But all right, I guess, are we ready for ratings?
Yes.
I
could go first. Yeah. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. Overall, I actually really enjoyed this. The action was very entertaining. Like we've said, the fight scenes were super duper well choreographed. I just wish there was more dialogue to help kind of move the story along, and so that there wouldn't be just like this massive info dumping monologue at the end.
Nice. Yeah, I gave this one a 3.5. I also really enjoyed it as well. I thought, again, like the fight scenes, choreography, acting was all like pretty spot on. My main gripe was, again, like with like just kind of like a little bit of like character development, character motivation kind of things, and just getting kind of that whole picture of why characters are doing what they're doing, and what their motivations are for being involved or wanting this document, like what their plan is to do with it. I would even like to honestly know like why this guy's trained in fighting. Like I guess he was a bodyguard. Maybe that's just the explanation there. But overall I did actually really enjoy this one, and I was very impressed with the acting too. That was definitely very impressive in this one. But I guess final question. Do we wish it was made sooner? Do we wish we saw it sooner?
This is a 2018 short film.
Yeah, so. Fairly new.
I don't know which one we answer.
Not answer. I do wish all these actors the best, because I do think they do have like there's a lot of talent and potential there. So that's something I will say. Like I do hope they're still making movies, still acting, still kind of
still choreographing those awesome roles.
And because again, like it was honestly a pretty great team that worked on this. I think between the acting, cinematography, like music choice, like I thought the editing was pretty good for the most part too. I really hope you guys are all like still working, and
I hope you see
still
this.
creating. Thanks for reaching out to us too.
I saw on YouTube a couple of other people doing reactions to this film. I know they probably do it in a way that everyone wishes we do, which is we react live to things. But guys, we don't do that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, a lot of work to get that live reaction done.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we have thought about working some live reactions into some things we do.
So stay tuned, because we have thought about doing that, but we just don't right now.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Like I mentioned this in the comments, but I'm gonna say it out loud. We live on opposite coasts. I'm Eastern California.
Yeah.
Like,
we both have stuff we do during the day too. Like a lot of stuff going on, you know.
Yeah, so like logistically, it would just not work.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll be able to do something soon, you know.
Yeah, and I did enjoy this as well, and I also wish all the actors, writers, everything the best. I hope you guys keep creating. This actually makes me want to watch more short films because it seems like less of a commitment than a full movie, but also not as like long as a TV show. Basically, it's like the perfect sweet spot. I really like. This was a good introduction to short film for me, and I like this.
Yeah. So if anyone else is in the film creating business and wants to get their short film reviewed by us, just leave us a comment or send us an email. Our contact information's in the description. So but this was Ramel Carter. So YouTube housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions for us or short films you want us to see, leave them in the comments down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays. All of our socials will be linked in the description box down below, and we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye!
For the spy,
The cat was there.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while. I used to whenever the cat's in my lap, when we say bye, I'll lift the cat up, but it's been a while when he's here today.
Bean, she's too heavy.
Oh yeah.
Although I did lift Bean the other day, because she keeps. I don't know what it is when I'm in the bathroom downstairs. She likes coming into the bathroom with me, or like. Sounds
like her.
Or if she sees I go, and I actually close the door. She'll stand at the door, waiting for me to come out. And one time she came in and I was like, what do you want? Do you want to see yourself? And I lifted her up and I was like, oh, this dog is so freaking heavy. She's has to be 80 something pounds now. She's so heavy.
I believe it.
She's a heavy dog.
Cats are still light. I think the cats are chunky, but still light.